How's it going, guys? Here finally comes the long-awaited Dusk and Saga banner. Very exciting, I know. And as usual, I would like to do a should you pull video, but before we go into that part of the video, I would like to explain a bit about this banner first, because there seems to be some confusion about how this banner works. So as you guys can see in the announcement, they say that there will be Nian, which is limited, rate up in the rest 30% in the remaining 6-star operators. So it's not like Nian is the 30%, okay? It's not Dusk and Saga is 70% and then Nian is the remaining 30%. That's not how it works. There is going to be 30 odd 6-star operators that are off banner. I haven't really done the count. I think there's like 31 or 32 now. And then Nian will be in there. But Nian has about 5 times more likelier of a chance to appear. So you can think of just a more likelier off banner. But in fact, it's just like 1/7 of a chance when you get an off banner, you will get Nian. It's still more likelier than other off banners. So if you're aiming for just Silver Ash, yeah, obviously Nian is going to be easier. But if you want to get Nian from this banner and you just want to pull and think, oh yeah, I can get Nian in like 100 pulls, don't think about it. That's not how this banner works. Okay, now she will be available to be exchanged if you do the 300 pulls and get her with that pity. That is doable. But that's it, okay? Don't think too much about, oh yeah, this is a Nian radar banner as well. That's not how it works. Alrighty, now, here's the banner, right? Dusk, Saga, Mr. Nothing. Today, I want to focus on mainly Saga and Dusk. But before I go into the details of like should you pull or like anything other than that, I have to inform you guys about something, and that is that Chinese server has already announced that they are going to buff the following operators, as you can see on the screen, like a lot of casters, a lot of guards, medics, and so they're going to pretty much buff all the AoE casters, excluding Ifrit, of course, but we don't know the details of the buff yet. So in this video, I would really like to give you guys like the complete information, but it's just impossible because I have to make this video before the banner actually comes out, and the buff information probably won't be out after the event is already, like the Dust banner is out for us. So if you guys want to maybe change your opinion about this banner later on, you have to stick to the Chinese information somehow, or maybe I will upload another video talking about this, but that's later on. Just take this video with a grain of salt, knowing that there will be buff coming to Dusk. I don't know how it is. Maybe they'll decrease the cost, maybe they'll decrease the cooldown time. I don't know. I just don't know. So with that in mind, let's begin the video. So the big question is, should you pull this video, right? And the short answer I would give this time is a no. Now, hear me out. I know everyone's like, oh my god, this is a limited banner. How could you tell me not to pull? But here's the thing. As all of us would know at this point, 18th is when they're going to do the Rainbow Six Siege collaboration. And Ash is a very important operator to get. So I'm already assigning like 90-ish pulls to that banner, knowing that they will give 20. And you only take 120 pulls to get her. So assuming I must get her, I will assign 90 pulls to her already. Right. Then after Rainbow Six Siege collaboration, so maybe like when it ends in September-ish, we're going to get 2 more events. One is Phantom Event Rerun, and then there's another new event that's like a small side story, so 2 weeks each, right? That means we're going to get a new limited banner in early October or mid-October, assuming that they're not going to shift the events around, you know, like they did before. But I think they won't do it this time because there is going to be another limited banner for pretty much when we're going to get 2nd anniversary anyway. So knowing that, I'm thinking, okay, I'm thinking that they won't move the banner times, like they won't shift events around just to delay the limited banner. This is not a story anyway. It's not like chapter 9 is coming out. So it's pretty likely for them to do that. So early October, potentially, we're going to get another limited banner, and that banner has some really important operators that you will want to get. And so unless you're like a whale or you have 300 pulls saved up, what I would recommend is, if you have like maybe 200 pulls, do the free pulls. Always do the free pulls, right? The free pulls only works in this banner anyway. So there's like 10 free pull ticket and then the daily one. Use those, and then maybe invest at most 100 pulls. Make sure you have at least 90 pulls for Ash banner. Even like for the minimum, the bare minimum, you want to save at least 90 pulls for Ash banner. If you want to get the other limited operators coming October, I would recommend you to save even more. So calculate how much you can spare for this banner when everyone just finished Ross Montes banner like 2 months ago or something like that. Yeah, I bet a lot of us has a lot of pulls for this banner. Right. So that's that out of the way. Let's talk into details of why I won't recommend you to pull this banner. So first, let's take a look at Dusk. This is our limited operator and our AoE caster. Really high DP to deploy, in fact 34, mine's P2, so 33, but yeah, really high as per usual. Really high base attack as well, so 865 with only E2 26 plus not even 100 trust. This will go up to 970. Also not the best range, that's per usual as well. Now let's take a look at her talent. Her talent is really interesting. I first have to explain her second talent to give you an idea. So her second talent is that when she first attacks an enemy when she's deployed, and if the spot that she attacks has a deployable square, melee square that is, ground square, she will summon a little monster thing that lasts for 25 seconds and blocks 2. Now, her talent 1 is that when she or the monster she summoned kills an enemy, she will gain 2% attack buff that stacks up to 15 layers. This has no duration, so indefinitely. With the 970 base attack, this goes to like almost 1.3k base attack. Really powerful. Now, let's take a look at her skills. Her first skill is that her next attack has increased AoE damage, really huge AoE damage. In fact, deals equivalent to 250% of R's damage and can charge up to 3. Only cost 5 SP at M3, that is. At skill level 7 is just 210%, charges 2 and 6 SP. Pretty good. The area is quite insane if you ask me. Pretty good skill, I must say. Her second skill is more of a Gitano skill, if you know what I mean. So she has increased attack area, attack increase up to 55%, attack speed increase up to 55, attacks all enemy within her attack area, and deals extra damage to those enemies with lower than half HP. Actually up to 130% more arch damage, so that is also pretty insane. But we already have Gitano for that, so this is like, you know, not really the most unique skill. Her third skill though is quite insane. So as you can see, I actually M3 this one because this is actually very powerful. Now, this skill has increased attack interval, prioritizes enemies that are unblocked, which is very awesome. You'll see why very soon. Attack area and AoE splash area increases. Also increases attack by 120%. That is from 1.3k. Remember, 1.3k plus 120%. That's like well over 2.5k. I think that's more like 3,000 attack each hit, and AoE. Don't forget. Also, whenever she attacks, the place where she attacks, she will summon the monster thing with like the same thing with her talent. Every single slot, as long as it's deployable and it's not occupied, whenever she attacks, so obviously when she's attacking unblocked enemy, she will summon a 2-block monster to block the enemies. That is just insanity. Like this is the biggest reason I love her so much, even though her skill cost is literally insane. This is 100 SP, so cooldown of 100 seconds, pretty insane. But this skill lasts for 60 seconds as well, and block summons block 2, and it's not limited to 1. As long as there is place, she will summon as many as needed. This is just an insane skill, and this is why I think Dusk is like the best AoE caster. Well, obviously excluding Ifrit is another type, but as you can see, this is why I think she's just insane. She does so much damage, and also she does so much else rather than just damage, right? But that's about it. The whole AoE caster category, archetype, just doesn't work. Like, the biggest problem with AoE casters is always the same, right? High cost, really slow to be deployed. Their skills aren't really like the most significant. Also, when they're not attacking, their AoE damage is like AFLS skill 2. So when I can have AFLA that is way lower cost and deals a lot more AoE damage, I don't really see the need, and yeah, the shorter range as well. So the whole AoE caster archetype is the problem here. And so that is why I have to ask you guys to ignore the buff that is going to be coming, because I don't know what the buff will change. Maybe it will change the AoE caster's archetype, the entire archetype, to something really more, like, way more powerful. We don't know, right? And so that is all I can give for now. Now, that's it for Dusk. Let's move on to the next operator. So, Saga. She is a 2-block Vanguard, higher attack than defense, so kind of similar to Texas. We can see that in her skills as well, but that's later. She's a very unique Vanguard, 6-star. Obviously, they're all quite unique, but her talent is something that we've never seen before. Now, her first talent is that when she deals a fatal blow to an enemy, the enemy will have 1 HP left and be traumatized, I would say. They have decreased movement speed, significantly decreased movement speed, cannot be blocked, and they will die 10 seconds later, eventually. When they are killed, the operator that killed them will gain +2 skill points, but Saga does not attack traumatized enemies. Her second talent is that when her HP is lower than 40%, she will gain 70% physical evasion for once, and will recover 5% of her max HP per second for 15 seconds. Right. Now, her skill is also very interesting, should I say. Her skill 1 is just our generic, just increase DP as the skills charge. It's nothing really unique. I'll skip that. Her skill 2 is that she will immediately gain 4 DP, deals up to 400% physical attack to up to 6 ground units only. So unlike Texas, this is not AoE nor air units, ground units only. Also, she will immediately destroy all enemies that are traumatized. So she will gain a lot of skill points if, like, you know, if you use this skill after she's traumatized an enemy, so she can immediately gain another stack. This skill charges up to 3 times and only costs 13 SP at M3. So you can see how she will just hit 6 enemies and then recover all the 12 SPs from killing 6 of them, and then spam the skill, spam the skill, spam the skill, spam the skill. That's technically speaking doable if there's a lot of enemies coming at once and they'll get killed by her attack. But yeah, that's only for like lower HP enemies. If you're attacking like higher HP enemies, typically what will happen is that you'll use all 3 charges to kill like them once, or maybe like at most another wave of enemy. But obviously you will regain another charge as you kill more enemies, which is very awesome. Her skill 3 is that in the duration of the skill, which is 20 seconds, she will gradually gain 20 DP. Her attack interval is a bit increased. Attack area +1. Increase attack by 130%, and she will attack all enemies equal to her block count, so 2. When the When the enemy's HP is lower than half, she will deal an extra damage. So plus 130% and deal another damage. That's like 460% of damage. Really awesome. And I would say that this is the kind of skill that you would actually use to deal with like weaker enemies in, let's say, like stages similar to CC maybe. Like that's really the only place I've really wanted to use her, and that I've actually used her. So I would say CC. And here comes back to the whole Vanguard system, right? As we all know, ever since Bagpipe and Myrtle came out, no one, well, I can't say no one, but a lot of people has transitioned to the new Vanguard system of just pumping out a lot of DP and deploy all your OP operators and ignore the Vanguards, right? The Vanguards are just there to generate the DP, which is actually a lot more easy for the majority of us, I would say, because the thing is, even though Saga has potentially really high attack, great, and all that, and like I've seen pure Vanguard teams do a lot of things, so they're capable, right? But most of the time, the other higher cost operators like Thorns, Ifrit, whatever, they're just a lot more stronger. And so if we're going to use the Bagpipe plus Elysium or Myrtle system or both, we don't have a space for Saga. And that is true for the majority of the stages. Obviously, if you're going to CC with like operator restrictions, maybe the situation will change a bit. But like even CC Season 5, you don't use Saga. You just want the other Vanguards to generate the DP faster, right? So Saga is in this really awkward situation that she is here as a 6-star Vanguard, but she's not changing the Vanguard system. And with the Bagpipe plus Myrtle Vanguard system, we don't use Saga. At least me. I don't use Saga. I don't find a need for her. The only reason I would see to pull her is waifu. Well, I mean, she's cute, but is she really waifu material? I don't know. But I think she's cute. If you like to play the old Vanguard style, I would say that she's really good. Also, if you want to play CC in some like more stricter way, I would say she's a great choice. Also, if you want to play pure Vanguard team, yeah, she's a good choice. But as you can see, in more general situations, I would just go with our Vanguard system that we're used to now, rather than transitioning to Saga. And that's the biggest reason I just don't recommend pulling this banner. Dusk, great as a AoE caster, but she's great as an AoE caster, not just great. You know, she's good. She's good. But usually I don't even bring AoE casters anyway. Saga, she's good. She's strong. But is she so good that she can completely replace the Myrtle Bagpipe system? Not really. I really can't say so. And so both of them are just good, not must have. So that's the end of this video, to be honest. I find it really hard to make this video, if you can't tell. First, before I even know about the whole buff thing that's happening to Dusk, I was already struggling to make this video. I was like halfway through it, because it's really hard to convince people not to pull on a limited banner in the first place. And then second of all, it's just that there comes the buff, which I have no idea what the hell is in it. And I have to give recommendation knowing that something will happen soon about Dusk. Like, this is just a really hard video to make. So if you found this video helpful, please hit a like. If you want to know what happens to Dusk in the future, most likely I will make a follow-up video to this when I know what the exact buff is. And so if you want to see that, hit subscribe and be notified when I make that video eventually. I'll see you guys later and hope you have a good day. Bye.